here is the first bag of seed of my first crop. We're gonna try and get most of my milo done today. I don't know if I'll be able to get it all done, but yeah, first crop right here, and we'll be doing corn in a little bit. But what we're doing this year is an 86P20 Pioneer brand. We've done decal the first 4 years. Last year we weren't very impressed, and we had a lot of neighbors that have switched to Pioneer. Just has better test weight, better yields, cleans better. That's what a lot of people that switched from decal have said. We're gonna fill the planter up with Pioneer and see how it goes from there. I only need 14 bags, but it's gonna be hard to split 14 into 16. So Dad's just gonna let us put 2 bags in of his, and then we can go from there. But let's get it filled up. Got the rest of it over there. All right, there's my first crop loaded up. Now we'll put some seed talc in it. That just helps with keeping the planter parts lubricated, flowing good. So we'll go and put a little bit of that on the seed each time we fill up, and then we'll close the boxes, fold it up. Have to put diesel in it, so in that way I track how much diesel I use. But I'll get this put in and we'll go from there. All right, and on top of me planting, Dad put some new sweep blades on. I think he put on like 4. While I'm doing that, he's gonna try and be farming in between getting fertilizer for me, because we got a lot of ground to work. But gonna grease a little bit on the tractor, fill it up with fuel, and I think we're gonna be good to start heading down. Alright, I've got the first few, maybe 3 rounds done, but I'm having to wait for Dad. He's right over there. If you can see that store building, he's right over there getting a little more fertilizer. My Rotan row cleaner, I think, has got a bearing going out because it keeps pushing. Just like that, my first crop is going in the ground. There's actually some pretty decent moisture here. We're going a little bit closer to 2 inches deep. Some places it might be a little bit deeper, but I think 2 inches deep is kind of the average. There's some spots a little wetter that it's a little softer, but it's a little bit sandier, and so it's going in a little easier. But overall, I think we looked in a couple different places in the field, a couple different rows. Looks pretty good. I've got the trash whipper set fairly decent. Overall, it looks pretty good. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it does, especially with, oh geez, those were some big mounts. Didn't feel them too much though. I'm excited to see how well it goes. It's something I've always wanted to do it, so it's awesome that I finally get to do it on my own ground. And like I said, there's some decent moisture where we got like 2 inches of rain here a couple Mondays ago. I'm not sure exactly when. It's towards this 1st of May. So there's some good moisture here, so hopefully I can get it up and it can grow good. Our fertilizer, we're doing 10.5 gallon. I think what it's coming out to is it should be like 20 pounds of nitrogen, so not too much. it is a little bit more while still being a little bit on the cheaper end. And then if it's raining some and think we want to do more, there's a foliar feed type deal that we've used on the wheat actually, and we'll probably use on Dad's irrigated corn. But if it's looking good, I might go in with that. The main goal with this fertilizer that we're running is just as a starter, get it up, get it growing, and then that way we're not putting on too much, spending too much money for it to not get any rain and then die. So we're trying to keep it cheaper to where then if we don't get any rain and our drought continues, we don't have too much money into it, but then yet it'll be at a point where if we are getting rain, we can come in with a little bit extra nitrogen, apply it on, and should give a good boost while staying relatively cheap, and which would be good because I think new crop milo right now, the market's about to close, but I think it's just under $7, and it'd be great. I have enough. I think I'd be able to do a 5,000 bushel contract, so that'd be sweet. But I'm excited. Hopefully it does good. But see how I should be able to get this field done. It's only like 100 acres, and get a little bit started on that other one and go from there. But so far it's going decent, and hopefully the rest of the day goes good. I don't prefer stripper stubble. I'd rather have the shorter stubble like what we leave when we cut wheat. But when you plant the next spring, it is satisfying seeing all the stripes in the fields with stripper stubble. I know it doesn't do much for the field, but it looks cool. I like it. 1+ is stripper stubble. I'm getting to be right at about halfway done with this field. Right now, still going about 6.2. So it's going pretty good. Auto steer's working great. I love that we have this electric steering wheel now, because last year when I was planting milo, did about 1,600 acres, and I only got to use the auto steer for like 30 minutes. As I said in previous videos, the old hydraulic auto steer, it didn't have enough hydraulic flow from the tractor to make it work, because as you can see, we have 3 of our outlets going at once all the time, and the 4th outlet that runs the hydraulic seed drive is running constantly at full power as fast as it can. So in that way, as your speed or something changes and your hydraulic motors need to speed up or slow down, it'll have plenty of hydraulic flow. But considering we had so much hydraulic flow going to the planter, the hydraulic auto steer wasn't being able to keep up on this older tractor. It still worked good for other stuff, but where we have the 8960 now, planting is kind of the main thing this tractor does. So we wanted to be able to have something that worked, and like I said, we didn't have to pay much of a difference. So it's nice that it's basically the same system and it works because it doesn't rely on any hydraulic oil. So it's nice, but so far it's going good. I just switched to the big tanks up front, and like I said, I don't have too much more. This is about 100 acres. Auto steer is saying roughly 56 acres. It's a little high because of the turn rows. We don't have it to where it can shut off when you raise and lower the implements, so it shows a little bit high, but making some good time now that I'm going. I have had to stop once since Dad's left. I just had to put another row cleaner in. I'm on to number 3 of the day, so that means I've only got 1 more left for spare. We have 2. When we put the first 2 in, Dad stayed, put new bearings in them, and 1 more just went out. So hopefully I don't use any more. It's gonna suck if I do. So like I said, hopefully I don't have to use any more, because I mean, it doesn't take too much time, but it does take a little while. But like I said, this year we are planting Pioneer Milo. A lot of people are having some good crops with it, some good yields. And like I said, we weren't real happy with the decal last year, and neighbors literally, had Pioneer, and it worked good for them. So there's a lot of people in our area that said Pioneer Milo has been better. So we're gonna give it a try and hopes that it is. The three main things with your yield, test weight, and how well it cleans, everyone says Pioneer's done significantly better. So hopefully it'll be a good switch and it can do us some good. But right now, as you can see, we're trying for 39,000, getting right there at it, 39 to 40. So it's playing pretty good. Had one little mishap when I started. You know, we got everything back there switched for corn. Did the first pass, put it in the ground, 59,000. I was like, whoa, that's a little heavy. Don't know why it's doing that. I was trying, I changed the population, didn't do much. Dad finally goes, did you change what plates you have in on the monitor? Said, I did not. Still had it in as the corn plates, not the Milo plates. And the second I switched it, it dropped it down and is running pretty well now. So yeah, apparently it's important to change what plates you have in the monitor too. But going good now. So now it's just gotta keep an eye on a few things, turn around, not hit the old pivot pad. Like I said, most of these all used to be circles except for the next field that I'll be planting. Pretty sure that one's always been farmed as a full square quarter, but all the pivot pads are still there, so you gotta watch out for them. So on this next one, I'll go around it, so that way I know not to hit it. But yeah, so far it's not playing too bad into this stubble. Of course, the final say will be when it comes up, but like I said, there's some good moisture here, so hopefully we can get a good crop coming up and get some rain on it. I know there's some chances for like next Monday through Wednesday. Not much chance for a lot of rain. I think it's pretty minimal amounts, but we will see. It'd be nice if we could get this planted, get most of Dad's Milo planted, and get some of it sprayed. Let it come rain on it a little bit. It'd sure be nice, but we'll see. Like that, my first field ever is in the ground. So I'm gonna head over to the pickup just right in there. I'm going to fill up. I think I've got about 300 left on these tanks, 1,000 gallon in there, so I should be able to fit it all. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that because we don't want, we found out last year if you have too much fertilizer in this, it won't hardly unfold. When we were on section 21 where we have 2 strips and the full section, the pickup and trailer was at the first strip of Milo we planted, and I said, it'll be fine. Filled it up, all 1,600 gallon, had 600 gallon on the hitch. It struggled unfolding, so I'm not gonna do that again. I'm just gonna go plant until this runs out, and then if I need Dad to come help me move the pickup again, then I will. But I think that's what I'll do, is I'll fold it up here and then move over a mile and start planting that field. All right, I'm doing the first pass on this field. When I did some subsoiling on that circle and the circle across, and then traced around some of these, I went along this one and kind of set an AB, and it was close. I think the heading I'm using right now is 90.5, and it came out pretty good. And so I'm just gonna use that. It's really close, and then that way I'll have auto steer on it and it'll be nice. But got started doing the first pass through. I'm about to the end. Tad has not gotten much done, unfortunately. He didn't get started till 1, trying to help me get started, and then changing a couple trash whipper bearings. Now he's just calling, he's pretty sure the alternator's out on the 8960, which impressive if it has not been changed. I'm not sure, but he's gonna call a few dealerships and see if they have one. Well, Dad said that they do have one, so he's gonna come up here, get me, and take me to the Red Forest so I can get it back over here. I don't know how much this field I'll be able to get done. It's 4:30 right now. I still have about 300 gallon left, so I can go a little while before I need to fill up. I'm gonna go see how much I can get done of it. This one's all just nice half-mile strips. It's not a half circle or anything. This is, I think, the only field that was never in irrigation. I think they've always just farmed it as a quarter, I think. As long as I can remember, it's always been like that, and I think that's what Dad said too. So this one should go fairly simple. Hopefully I can get a decent amount of it done and get it finished up fairly early tomorrow morning, because then Dad's got two fields just right over here, both roughly 50 acres. If got this done, I could easily get those done, get started on one of the mile-long 107-acre strips on 21, just 2 miles south of here. So could get a lot done as long as I can go a little while tonight. That's really the nice thing about this opportunity that I'm getting to farm this ground, is it's not like it's 20 miles away from everything else. We've got two fields right here that butt up against it, full section that way, some ground to the north, and most of our ground's all just kind of right in this area. So it's just really nice location, and it's really good ground. That section over there, those 3/4 that I have, does get a little sandier, especially the field I was just on to the east. It gets sandy really quick, which is unfortunate, but I'm gonna try some continuous cropping on it, minimal farming, so in that way just make sure I have constant cover on it, help hold it down some, hopefully. But yeah, it's some good ground, and it's a great opportunity, plus it's family ground, so nice opportunity. Now I just hope that can raise a crop and get some good rain. It'd be nice. All right, since I've started a different field, I just want to come out and check. Looks like it's doing good. There's moisture right there anyways, so see if I can find a seed or two, hopefully. Because this ground is going to be a little harder than what I just planted, where it was sand, and this is a little bit heavier. So I just want to make sure we're still getting it in decent. I moved to a different spot, but there's a little bit of red speck right there. That's our Milo seed. It's not in too deep, but it's still in some good moisture. It looks fine to me. I might dig a few more spots and see. This is a hilltop, so it's gonna have a little less moisture, so that's why I stopped here. Just make sure if this is in good moisture down in some of the bottoms and most of the other field, it'll be in good moisture. So I'll just check a few more places and see what it looks like. I want to see how my luck with finding seed goes. I dig 5 different rows, not find anything, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't know how I do it, but it looks pretty decent to me, so I'll keep planting. Like I said, this is a hilltop. It's got some pretty good moisture on it, actually, so I'm gonna keep going and hopefully it works good. Dad is on his way back. He said he's gonna come get this pickup with all the tools. Got the alternator. He got some more parts for these trash whippers. So he's gonna come and get that, try and get that put on tonight. I'm not gonna fill this real full. I might just put like 700 gallon on, That should be roughly 70 acres, and I doubt I get that much more done. It's already 6 o'clock. I don't know, I'll just put some on, see how it goes. And nothing else, I'll go till it's empty, but I don't know how much longer Dad'll be. I was about out anyways, but I was gonna come fill up before he left, because he'll probably just take the trailer so we don't have to unhook it. But so far it's going good. That's not a planter. I'm here at the 8960 on the field that Dad started working up. My planting ended kind of abruptly last night, about 8 o'clock when Dad was getting ready to head home. Keep in mind, this is on 2 fields that only needed 14 bags, and we had 16 bags in the planter. That's about 70 acres into my second field, which is 160 acres, so not quite half done. And I got a row 14 is not planting message on the screen. I was like, huh, that's weird. Wonder, must have broke a chain or something. No, it was out of seed. All the other boxes still had about the right amount of seed in it, but 14 was plumb empty. I don't know if we had a seal go bad or what. The last pass over, it looked like there was some seed on the ground. So like I said, I don't know if I had a seal go bad and it was dumping it out of the side of the meter or something. I'm not real sure, but it's out of seed. I'm gonna do this for a while Dad tries to figure out what to do. Might try and see if we can take it into Yuma. I think they have one of the meter testing stands or whatever. I don't know. I hope it's something somewhat simple. It'd be nice to get that fixed and get going again. We do have a decent amount of acres to plant, so it'd be nice to be able to get that done, but it is what it is. So hopefully it doesn't take him too long to get it figured out. But in the meantime, I'm gonna do this and see how much we can get done, since Dad didn't get a whole. He got a decent amount done actually, but where he had to mess with the alternator, he didn't get near as much done. So I'm gonna do this while he tries to figure that out, and then we'll go from there. All right, now tell me how awesome it is that this works out. So this is my second round going down the field. This one's a mile long, and when I did that one coming back, I could tell that it was gonna be pretty close on how this line worked. It's darn near perfect. I could be over like another foot maybe, but I know when I set this up I kind of got a little too far that way, so that probably is about right where the actual line is supposed to be. It's not a huge deal. It's just pasture. It's not like there's a neighbor's field over there or anything, but it's gonna work out good because I can do these turn rows here, and when I get that done I'll come back on this line, and then I'll start the short part of what's gonna be in this field, and we can go from there. And then I don't have to overlap. I don't have to work anything twice or run down the field once with it out of the ground, so it works out good. All right, it is now 10 o'clock. I've been going for roughly 4 hours now. Got those two done. I'm getting a decent amount done on this one so far. This is gonna be 2 quarter sections, so it's actually gonna end up being 320 acre field. Update on the planter. Dad is heading back home. He should be back home here in a little bit. He doesn't actually have the seed meter back with him. Yuma did have a testing stand, however, they didn't even put it on. When they got there, they kind of spun the seed disc and everything on, put together just with the door off, and he said it kind of looked warped And so I'm wondering if when it was warped, if it was allowing it to leak some seed out somewhere. Because Milo seed is pretty small, so it doesn't take much of a gap. He doesn't have the meter with him right now. The closest seed plate that he could get was an Imperial, so it's going to take a little while to get. Our neighbor that bought the corn planter, the 7200 8-row, hasn't came and got it yet. Dad's just going to take a seed meter off of that one so we can put a Milo plate in it that we know is not warped and it'll work fine, because it's the same mounting holes in the bottom of the boxes. Even those are just the 1.6 bushel, and we have like the 3 bushel boxes. At least they should be the same. Hopefully they are. But he's gonna do that, and then time he gets that off and gets back home and starts heading down here, I'm gonna go over and help him get that, and then hopefully be able to finish my Milo up and get started on his. I just found me a treasure. So last year when I drilled this hay, I think I had this in the video, on our 9400 box drills, we normally kept a handyman jack. Sometimes the transport wheels would fall down that are on the back side of the drill, and they'd be dragging up. Well, when I was drilling these fields, I know the handyman jack fell off, and I knew kind of where it was. We found it right away. Never could find the jack, the handle. Couldn't find the handle. Found it! Saw it right before I went to the sweep. So now we got a complete handyman again. Sweet! And I just got a call from Dad. He is getting ready to head down here to go over to the planter, and maybe we can get that meter put on. Hopefully it works, because it'd be nice to get mine done so then we can get started on Dad's. I'm about to the east end, so I will head back to the west end, go back over to the pickup, head up to the tractor, and go help Dad. not too far past these poles is the road, which means the end of my field and my milo planting. So far it's been going pretty good. I'm kind of wondering if we don't have another seed plate messed up a little bit. Nowhere near as bad as 14, but it did run out part way through, and thanks to having a full bag of seed and 14, it was easy to get seed transferred over to it. There should be more than enough to get this field finished in 15. So if it is kind of messed up and it's leaking as well, that will tell us if it's messed up as well. As of now though, I think I'm probably gonna end the video here. I think it's a little bit long. I'm getting close to being done with this. And then Dad's, he's getting some fuel right now. He's got his seed here. So once we get done with this, we'll move over to his field. And then we will put fuel in it so I can track how much of the fuel I burned. We'll fill up with his seed, get a little bit more fertilizer in, and go from there. Because to do the 2 fields, we should need roughly 1,000 gallon. I won't quite have that. I should have about 100 left in the planter tank when I'm done. And there's roughly 275 in each of these saddle tanks. I won't need any of that. I shouldn't anyways. And so we will need a little bit. That's where we're at. Next video, we should be getting started on Dad's milo. But as of right now, my first crop is in the ground. It's a great feeling. Now I just gotta hope it rains so it'll grow. But like I said, we're gonna move to Dad's. So thank you for tuning in and watching as I plant my first crop. If you want to stay along for the journey and enjoy my videos, be sure to subscribe and like the videos. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.